Alright, we've got Smurfinator in the shop here. This is Doug's car. And what we're looking at here is the question that was raised. And it was raised basically because somebody used a different type of caliper. Okay, and what it did was it made this bolt too close to the tie rod end. And when the pads wear and the whole caliper starts shifting over, it'll hit. Once that hits and you lose your free floating capability, then you wouldn't have any brakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some measurements here. The thickness of the pad, as long as the bolt doesn't hit the tie rod before the metal would hit the backing plate of the pad, if somebody runs it down that far into the metal, it's on them. You know, that's just plain stupid. So we're not going to compensate for that, but it looks like there might be enough room. So we'll do some measurements and find out. Alright, a couple things to note. He's got 2 years of wear on the brakes here, and as you can see, there is no lip there on the rotor yet. There isn't one on the backside either. And if you look at those pads, I mean, they look nearly new. There's hardly any wear on there. So it's going to take forever to wear it down anyway. So what we did was we measured the thickness of the pad there, all the way down to the backing plate, and it's basically exactly, it's like 380 thousandths. Which is what this plate, this slug is. So you can see that it hits the thread, but if you were to cut the top of the tie rod, just the thread parts off there and leave the nylock and everything, okay, it would work just fine. You know, and we're not missing it by much there. 1/8 of an inch at most, and technically you're supposed to change your pads when there's about 1/8 inch left, the bottom of that groove there. So, not particularly an issue. When we redo these plates again, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll reclock it slightly. I think there's plenty of room there to reclock it slightly and make sure it clears a little bit more next time. We had the steering arm in position when we did the testing and the prototyping, but we didn't have the tie rod joint in. But the other option too is a lot of guys take the strut and swap it left to right, and that puts the caliper up in the front, and everything swaps over from one side to the other without any problem. And that, in fact, that's what the other guy did with his other calipers, so they wouldn't hit the bolt there.
You may have to go to a longer brake line, but that would be the only. And that's just a possibility.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it just took out of the way there.
Yeah.
You're using one that not many other people are using anyway, so
yeah,
you certainly wouldn't have any problem.